Okay, so I'm back, and now I've turned on the computer in room 221 and have typed in virtual astronomy labs, and then this is the opening picture that you see. So then if you go back to your lab, you'll see that the lab that we want to do is on stellar parallax, which says it's on unit 9. So I am going to click on unit 9. And so there you got it. Okay, then in the next part of the lab, it says you're going to need to calibrate the computer. So it says to click on where it says calibration on the virtual astronomy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for you. Okay, and now what that is a picture of is some stars, and then down at the bottom is the Earth. So it says next to click on the grid. So there's your grid over the various stars. Okay, then it says to click on exercises and then click on calibration. Okay, so now we're on calibration. Then it says to click on telescope and stop tracking. Now, unfortunately, it should have said start tracking, but the program is not working right. So you click on stop tracking and actually in order to start it. So let me go ahead and put the grid back on. And I'm going to click on start tracking, and what you're going to should be able to see is the stars moving across the night sky. Now in actuality what's happening is the Earth is rotating and the stars are fixed, but it makes it look like the stars are moving across the sky. So you are going to pick out any of those stars that is moving. And you probably would want to go to the telescope speed. And if you go down here to slow, then it makes it a lot easier to do. Okay, look over here. Can you see where my cursor is circling? So up here is a timer that is basically a stopwatch. So whenever you see a star entering onto the to the screen over here, you're going to hit start tracking, which actually stops the tracking. So sorry about that. So I'm going to wait until, all right, so right there. Okay, right here where I'm circling with my cursor is a star that has just entered into the field of view. I'm going to write down in the lab the time in which star number 1, so here's my star number 1, and in that yellow box in your lab it will say for star number 1 time in which it enters, and so that's going to be 1670.0 milliseconds. So you would enter that into your chart. Okay, then the next thing that you do is you go back to the telescope, you click on the stop tracking, which is going to start the tracking, and you're going to wait until this star goes all the way across the screen and gets over to here, and then you're going to stop the tracking again. So let's try it. So I'm waiting for it to get all the way across to the other side of the screen. just about there. And stop. Okay, now the new time is 2003.3 milliseconds. So you would put that in the next column for the time in which it ends. Okay, then you're going to subtract those two numbers. And then that's going to be the amount of time in milliseconds that it took for the star to go completely across the screen. Now, I've already done it for you though. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you what numbers to put into your chart. And so I'm going to stop the video here, and then when we come back I'm going to tell you what numbers you should have filled in to your chart.